Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. How is everybody? Another week. We have unofficial leaderboards for the online individual semifinals. We have live in-person competition this weekend in Indianapolis for World Fitness Project Tour 1. We got teams going to the CrossFit Games. Things are ramping up. Things are getting exciting. Not as exciting as online dating, but nonetheless, things are exciting. Caleb, you're right. We back. Our normal time, our normal day. Omar, what's up? Things are back to normal. Happiness. That's what I call it. I love a good routine. It just didn't feel right doing this on a Friday. Friday is a day to just unwind and have no obligations, in my opinion. You know, like when somebody puts up a Google Meets on your calendar on a Friday, and it's just like, okay, are you going bankrupt? Are people getting fired? Is this an emergency? Because if it's not, it's got to wait till Monday. It's got to wait till Monday. Nobody wants to do a meeting on a Friday. Omar, what? I don't even know what you're trying to say there. Yellow, Brett. Great to see you. I don't know if that's your accent, but there you go. I was told once that impersonating other types of accents is a huge ick. So if I gave anybody the ick, I'm sorry. Sometimes it happens. But yeah. I mean, people were unhinged on Hinge. People were unhinged on Hinge. Honestly, okay, we'll go back to what the thumbnail is of this episode with the screenshot. Yellow, mate. Thank you, Brett. Yellow. We'll go back to the screenshot, what I posted on Instagram, and I'll take you through that little journey. But even before that, I should have screenshotted this conversation too, but when this stuff happens, I should really have cataloged it. But 9 times out of 10, I'm just like, I don't even wanna look at this. I don't even wanna deal with this. I don't want this person to learn any more about me and find me. So I'm just gonna unmatch and block them. But 2 days before the message from Sugar Wolf, I matched with this guy, and I can't make this up. The very first thing he said to me is, "Oh my god, my friend said he wants to marry you." Like, that was his opening line to me. So in my head, I was like, "Oh, I wonder if I've matched with his friend before and maybe, like, we unmatched or whatever." And no, so, we get into this conversation, and he basically is now just vouching for his friend, even though he matched with me, but won't even send me pictures of what his friend looks like. And he's like, "Oh, let me get your number. Let me get your number." And I was just like, "No, you're not. You're not going to get my number. Like, why? What are we doing here? What? This is the weirdest thing ever." And so, yeah, he basically was just trying to get me to essentially unmatch with him and text his friend. Just so freaking weird. People on the internet are weird. Oh, yeah. What's a sugar wolf? Honestly, I didn't even Google it. I had a couple people tell me that they Googled it. Red, white, and bills. Oh, no. A pack of sugar wolves. In my head, I was thinking, oh, is this like a sugar daddy in some way? But I don't think that it is. He was older. He was 47. Um, what let's just see. What is a sugar wolf? Yeah, nothing comes up. A bunch of sweet somebody's Instagram at sugar.wolf, Erica Hansen. Okay, she's a baker. So her Instagram comes up. I don't think that's this guy. Um, Sugar Wolf is a photographer, an LLC, Sugar Wolf Inc., like a tattoo place. Ooh, some creepy clown pictures that call themselves Sugar Wolves. God, if that's what he was referring to, that is terrifying, and I want nothing to do with that. Yeah, nothing really comes up on the internet. Let me know what you guys think. Mike, 47, brah, laughing my ass off. My cutoff is 49. Like, here's the thing, I gotta compromise. If I'm not gonna go younger than what my age is, I have to have wiggle room somewhere, right? I can't just say, oh, between the ages of, well, I guess I could say 33 and 40, or even 33 and 43, like a 10-year gap. But, you know, I, who knows what's out there? I never heard anything like that before. Yeah, me either. I'm trying not to be as picky, you know what I mean? I'm trying to, like, decide when I wanna be picky, and age is just a number. I have tried to go younger, and I think we can all agree that I'm not gonna say everyone, I'm not gonna generalize, but most men, they mature at a later stage in life. And again, even men that are my age, they're still living with mom and dad. So if I go as young as 30 or even in their late 20s, they're definitely still living with mom and dad in this day and age. I just can't. I'm not going over to your parents' house to hang out with you. We're laughing at him saying that at 47. Yeah, a 47-year-old man said this to me. Is that not questionable? It's incredibly questionable, I think. Like, what in the world is going on? Oh no, a pack of sugar wolves. Ugh, it's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah. So, the anything else happen? I we mature at 43. Okay, Brett, thank you. That's good to know. I'm really trying. So I deleted the dating apps for a couple of months, thinking, "You know what? My future husband, he's not on the dating apps. He doesn't have time for that. He doesn't wanna be part of that culture and whatever." But then it's like, "Okay, where am I gonna meet these people? How am I gonna go on dates?" Because truly, like, men don't come up to me in real life. They don't strike up a conversation. That just doesn't happen. It's just not happening. So, I've resorted only one dating app, only Hinge. I'm not going on the other ones. I was kicked off of Bumble because I put my Instagram in there just as a security feature so people could verify that I am who I say I am, but yeah, so just one. But it is strange. So there were these okay, I don't like to give away who people are or anyways. Okay, so I'll be very generic about this conversation. So this woman who I go to and I see her regularly for appointments, we'll just keep it at that. She actually said, "Hey, oh my god, I can't believe that I didn't think of so and so. You two are both single. He's really cool. Like, these are his green flags. I think you guys have a lot in common, whatever." So at the end of our appointment together, she gave me his Instagram and I looked him up and I was like, "Oh my god, he's following me. Like, maybe we've talked at some point." So I follow him back and, I have no shame. So I messaged him and I was like, "Ha, like, me and so and so, your friend, we were just talking about you. Then I realized you followed me on Instagram." Whatever. I said something along those lines. And then we're messaging back and forth. He gets my number. And then we realize, like, oh, he already had my number. At some point in the last, who knows, like 5 years, we matched on a dating app. And so then I started to get a little like awkward, like, "Oh, did you ghost me or did I ghost you? Or maybe we just never met and just called it quits." But anyways, so we're chatting and I'm realizing, we do have a lot in common. I don't want to keep having this texting conversation. It's better if we just meet in person and decide, like, this is either something or it's not. So I'm trying to feel it out because at the end of the day, like, I want a man to have some balls and ask me on a date. I'm sick of having to be the one to always push the cart along, whatever the phrase is, to get somebody to ask me on a date. Like, I don't wanna have to plan everything. I don't understand why that concept is so difficult. So anyways, I'm like, "Okay, fine. I'm gonna stop being stubborn," and I said something along the lines like, "Hey, it seems like we have a lot in common. We should meet up sometime." And then he responds with, "Yeah, that would be great. Feel free. I need like and subscribe, you freeloaders." Kenneth, I gotta catch up. I don't know if what you're referring to. Brett saying, "Help! What sausages? What is going on in the comments?" Let me catch up after I tell my story. But anyways, I just gave you a cherry. I just gave you a foot in the door to set up the date. Ask, "Hey, that's a great idea. When are you available next?" But instead, just this passive thing of, "Yeah, we should do that." If you don't want to, you could have just said you don't want to, or you could have just ignored me completely and ghosted me and been on your way. But you confirmed that you would be interested in meeting in real life, but then you're not setting anything up. So it's like, God dang it. Are men really that stupid? Do I need to spell it out? Like, hey, I just said we should meet up and do something because it seems like we have a lot in common. Take initiative. I don't get it. Hey, Noel. I came for the sugar wolves. Yeah, I think a lot of people did. He said nothing else. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let me just read the conversation. And this is not the first time. This is not the first time. I'll get into okay. And not for nothing, the woman who's like our mutual friend, she told me that he was like frustrated with the online dating culture because women keep ghosting him. So it's strange to me that I don't know. Okay, anyways, he goes, "So I had your number already. That's embarrassing." And I go, "Jesus Christ, when did this happen? I'm sorry, now I'm embarrassed." "Why are you embarrassed?" "Well, you got my number somehow, blah, blah, blah. We matched on Hinge, yada, yada." Okay. So he even acknowledges, "I'm very much an in-person person. Haha. If I could go back to flip phone and get rid of social media, I would." Great. That sounds amazing. Maybe you should ask me on a date so we can meet in real life and have a real conversation, sir. And we're talking about all of these outdoorsy things that we like to do, all the sports we like to do, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Then when, oh, and he said, um, "I'm down for any adventure." And I said, "Me too. I love that stuff." And he goes, "Really? That's hard to find." And I said, "Really?" I said, "Really? Do women on dating apps just want to drink or stay at home? LOL." And he goes, "Yeah, it's wild, honestly. And I'm not a partier." And I go, "Me either. I've already lived that life. If you want, I'd love to find a time to meet in person." He goes, "I would absolutely love that. I bartended downtown for years and definitely over that lifestyle." I go, "Yeah, I'm very over that lifestyle too." And never answers again. Like, okay, we just both acknowledge that we're not big partiers. Like meeting somebody at a bar is probably not going to happen for either of us because that's not what we do. We both like I do not understand this equation for what lives in men's brains. I don't know. I don't know. Brett says women scare you. Why are we scary? What is scary? I just don't understand that. I will say a lot of questionable things to my coworkers, and they say it's funny and have said I'm fun to be around. The same sayings are probably weird via text, and I have figured that out. Right. I definitely think things that I would say in person and the tone that I would have in person is not it doesn't translate over text message, but that's why you meet in person. If you realize you have a couple of things in common with somebody and it's not like a serial killer, like this sugar wolf who I did almost go on a date with and he was going to skin me alive and wear my clothes, like okay, maybe there needs to be some kind of balance of barrier to entry for a date, but I just I just don't understand. Somebody make it make sense. That is a struggle with apps these days. I've vowed against the apps. Me too, but then we're Okay, well, and then we'll get to my Home Depot mission. We'll put a pin in that. Remind me if I skip over it. I'm going through all of your comments now. Mate, we don't get hints. But come on, how much do I have to spell it out? Do I have to say, "Hey, I'm free tomorrow. Pick me up at No, you're not gonna pick me up because I'm not gonna tell you my address. Hey, let's meet at this place at 6 PM." I'm sorry, but men want women to lean into their feminine energy. I can't if I have to plan everything. I can't if I have to be the coordinator. I can't if I have to constantly like court you around. Maybe I want to be courted. Like, what a concept here. Oh, CrossFit. Hey, girl, I'll treat you nice. Thank you. Our brain is simple. Just tell us where to show up. See, while I can do that, like, you're okay. If your brain is simple, I like girl. Girl like me. Ask girl on date. Hooray. Couldn't be more simple. Like, I just can't. I can't. He's a little bitch. He's doing you a favor. Yeah, honestly, Jenny, you're probably right. We get scared by reality. Next. Swipe to the next. I believe Rambler, interesting. I believe guys are scared from wokeness. I think it's interesting, not even that specifically, but just culturally, I feel like people are very on both ends of the spectrum, very intense about their political beliefs and, their stance on certain things that, yeah, there is a bit of tiptoeing in walking on eggshells, but at the same time, okay, if that's how you have to be around that person, that's probably not your person. You know what I mean? Like you're probably either both intense on one or the other end of the aisle, or you're both a little bit somewhere in the middle. And the only way that you're going to know that is to just be yourself. I don't know. What are people afraid is going to happen? That a woman on a dating app is going to lash out to you in one way or another, or maybe be rude or unmatch you. Okay, well, now you're closer to finding your person because you know that that is not your person. Date some of those tactical games, dude. They seem manly. I love all the tactical games, guys. They are some of the coolest, most incredible people. Most of them are already taken. Uh, Beisha, we got some new people today. Sounds like nobody wants to be seen to be committing to these days. Yeah, on both sides of the fence. I think that that is a huge thing as well. It's very much muddied waters, and yeah, like even this other guy, again, we were texting and I know this person and they're kind of from my hometown and we have a lot of mutual friends, and I tried flirting with him last summer and people told me he was single, but he's a little bit shy and whatever. Like I tried to lay it on thick with flirting or whatever. It didn't work. So I'm like, okay, whatever. He's not interested. Not a big deal. Then circle back this year, he was DMing me, asked for my number. We had been texting like every single day we would be texting each other. And I finally had to say, hey, we should do something in person after dropping several hints. Like we were kind of flirting back and forth. And I was like, oh, that's something that I would only tell you in person. Like, what do you think that means? That is to me that it couldn't be more obvious. But okay, if men are dumb and I got to spell it out, I then eventually did spell it out. Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, I have plans on Saturday, but maybe I'd be able to do something on Friday or Sunday. Great. Let me know. One day goes by, 2 days goes by. We get to Friday. Like no more mention of hanging out, but you keep texting me. Stop. You're now bothering me because you're taking up time in my day if you're not taking this seriously. And I'm not even saying seriously because we don't even know like what we would be like in person, but I'm sorry, I'm not here to add time in my day to invest in text somebody that can't even meet me for like a drink or something in person. I like I am on my bullshit tonight. I've had enough. I've had enough. And this is why I almost ended up going on a date with Sugar Wolf because I'm so frustrated that nobody will just ask me on a date. And Sugar Wolf did. He was going to wear my skin, but he almost got the date. Oh, I can't stop laughing at Sugar Wolf. Rob, me either. Me either. Oh, and then I gotta tell you what my dad said about it. My dad doesn't think that I should have unfollowed and unblocked and blocked him. I read the whole conversation to my dad, and my dad was like, you really should have explained why this wasn't gonna work out and why you're not going on a date with him. And I'm on the phone with my dad, like, I'm sorry, but he doesn't in the nicest way, he does not deserve an explanation. He knows that he was a freaking weirdo. And no, 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 dad. I'm trying to protect myself. I'm trying not to die. Noelle, most men are very much that stupid. I believe I fall within that category of men. Oh, what a shame. Classic men. He's frustrated with others ghosting him, so he's ghosting you, which I get. I've 100% played that toxic game before. Like, these guys ghosted me in my early 20s. Like, now I'm just going to play their game and blah, blah, blah. And I mean, I get it. But it's like if you have something in common with somebody and they seem normal enough, just you don't need to commit a lot of time. I know that it's very controversial about coffee dates, but I am totally fine with saying, "Hey, I have 20 minutes in between these meetings. Let's meet for a coffee, see if there's a vibe in person, and if it goes great, then we will plan a real date." I'm totally fine with that. I always lived by the worst someone can say is no. Yeah, I agree. But now I realize the worst thing someone can say is that they are Sugar Wolf. Red, white, and bills. Yeah. Yeah. True. That probably was the worst. Sugar Wolf got cold feet. There's a fear of in person. No, 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 no. We had the date planned. We were supposed to meet up. After he said the Sugar Wolf comment, I just unmatched and blocked him. Bunch of woozies. Just say what you want. No dancing around. Yeah. So neither of you committed to anything. No, but I'm the one that is initiating making the plans constantly. Like if it wasn't for me, there would be no conversation with either of these guys of doing something in person. And the thing is I'm not against planning a date. I'm not against being the person who takes the initiative, but it's just getting exhausting when it seems like I'm the one that constantly has to do it. And I just don't understand, where are the men that just want to plan a date? Even just plan 20 minutes to get coffee. It just feels like if I don't push the ball forward, nothing happens. And that's how it is for me with work. Like I'm sure several people can relate. If I'm not following up on the emails, if I'm not sending calendar invites to schedule things, like I just want to relax. I want somebody else to take the bull by the horns. Uh, just tell us where to show up. No, lazy. I'm sorry, but it's funny because recently somebody said, and this is probably cold-hearted, and I'm probably going to offend some people, so I'm sorry, it's not meant to offend people, but somebody said when, and again, generalizing, I'm not saying this is for everyone, and it's not something that I said, but somebody had said, when a divorce happens, the man is more impacted than the woman. Their lives are more impacted. There's more shifts that need to happen. And me and one of my girlfriends were talking about it, and she's married, and she made some really good points. She's like, "Yeah, I'm the one that does all the scheduling for the kids. I'm the one that I work a full-time job, but I still make sure that I can coordinate things and do this and do that." And um the other person, like, their life would be on total pause if the dynamic shifted, and then they had to coordinate things and they had to reschedule meetings and stuff. And I just thought it was so interesting. But yeah, just tell us where to show up. stop being lazy. I honestly think laziness is probably my least favorite second to just being an asshole. Assholes, lazy people, and the two worst character traits. Come on, ladies and gents, make suggestions and commit. Uh, Jason noted. Guys like playing PS5 games over dating. I would do a PS5 date. Do they have Mario Party and uh what was the Diddy Kong Racing, that and Mario Kart? I would do a PS5 game date. That would be so fun. I know plenty of guys are comfy over texting, of course, because they just want somebody that pumps their ego and tells them, how was your day, sweetie? I'm sorry. I don't care how your day is. I don't know you like that yet. I'll ask because I get that it's the appropriate thing to do. But until I'm emotionally invested, okay, we have a couple of text messages. We agree that there's something compatible with us. We set up a date. I don't need to hear from you every day until that date. Just secure the date. Maybe I hear from you a couple times until that date to know that, you didn't die or fall off the planet, but we haven't earned that place in each other's lives yet. That's the problem with dating right now is people think, "Oh my god, I matched with this person that I'm sexually attracted to on a dating app and we have these things in common." Good morning, beautiful, and then try to text you all day long. And you think that that's normal. I'm sorry, but I don't think that that's normal. Like, because then when somebody ultimately does get ghosted, they're emotionally hurt by it. And it's like, well, why? Did you even meet that person in real life yet? Okay, maybe you went on 1 or 2 dates. That's still not uh, you're not attached to that person yet, but it's all of this love bombing and gaslighting each other. Like, it's insanity. Insanity. Um Compatible, then it gets weird when things progress. Imposter syndrome, feel a failure. My wife basically had to ambush me. Maybe some people do that, but I mean, even my sister, I hope she doesn't care that I'm telling this story over here, but my brother-in-law broke up with her multiple times and she was like, "No, you're not breaking up with me. You're my boyfriend and you're going to marry me and we're going to have kids." And I mean, they love each other dearly and I think that they have a great relationship, but it's like she stalked him down until he was like, "Yeah, I think you're right. I am supposed to be with you." But I don't know. What the fuck is a sugar wolf? Kenneth, we still don't know. Google it. Tell me if you find anything different than what I have. It's too bad no one has shown genuine interest in you and asked you out lately, Jeremy. Ooh, I feel like that was a little spiteful. Yes, go look clueless in the lumber aisle at Home Depot at Monday morning at 6 a.m. You'll find a man. Okay, Mike, thank you for bringing that back up. I went at 8 a.m. on Monday. And so after the sugar wolf thing, my brother-in-law was like, "You want to find a man, go to the contractor section of Home Depot." I asked, "Can I go to Lowe's? Because Lowe's is 30 seconds from my house." He says, "No, you got to go to Home Depot." And these men are going to be on a mission. They're going to be in, they're going to be out, no bullshitting. What you do, you look for you're about to hang a picture or something and you find a good looking man and you ask him, "Hey, can you help me find this real quick?" He helps you, you thank him. "Oh my gosh, can I get you a coffee?" He says, "I'm actually on my way to work." And then you say, "Hey, can I get your number? I would love to still be able to get you coffee." I went on Monday morning. I was intimidated. I am not going to lie. There were so many men there at that hour. And yes, they were running all over the place. These men were on a mission. That afterwards, I texted my sister and brother-in-law and I was like, "I'm unequipped for this." He goes, "You got to be the queen of Home Depot. You got to run that ship." And I tried. I was going to go again on Wednesday. Today's Thursday. I have not been back since, but I'll be back and I'm going to catalog the experience. I took a video to recap what my first day at Home Depot was like. It was unsuccessful finding a man and getting a number, obviously, but we tried. We tried, but it was honestly, I don't feel intimidated in a lot of situations. And I'll admit, I felt very intimidating at Home Depot at 8 a.m. on a Monday. Noelle, I will say my current wife had to basically message, "Are we going to go out?" Because my previous 2 setup dates with different people canceled very last minute, and I was tired of it by that point. Yeah, I get that, but I'm tired too, and I'm trying not to be stubborn. I'm really not trying to be stubborn. It's just frustrating. It's just frustrating that so many people just want pen pals. Speaking of spectrums, most dudes are on it. Kenneth. So we do need it spelled out sometimes. I feel like I've spelled it out, but clearly based on this chat that's mostly men, I have not. So I guess I'll be more direct. But if tactical games guys go badly, then you risk seeing that, bro. Yeah, and that's why regardless of the sport that I'm covering, I've never dated anybody who I have like had to cover for work, and that's specific because yeah, if it goes bad, I never want to eat where I shit where I eat, whatever way that it is. So yeah, you got to be careful with that too. Life with Laur. Should we just rename this show? Live with Laur, Life with Laur. Elaborate, ma'am, on what part? Sorry, I speak faster than you guys type. You guys type faster than I can finish a story, so I play a little bit of catch up. Guys usually don't date until they believe they have certain financial criteria set up for themselves, such as having their own place in their own car. Yeah, I think that that's good that they shouldn't be living in their parents' basement before they want to take a woman on a date. I would agree with that. Your guy that you like, he's probably broke. What guy? There's no guy that I like because I haven't gone on a date. I'm sorry, but I can't say that I like somebody over just texting them. Yeah, I can feel some kind of a connection and oh, we have a lot in common and conversations are easy, but I I don't die on many hills, but I do believe you need to meet somebody in person to know if something's actually there. You need to see how they treat wait staff. You see now how they interact in the world around you. How do they treat you? What is their eye contact like? What is their body language like? What is the connection and conversation like? Is it fluid? Is it awkward? I think that there's a lot of things that you meet about somebody in person that you just don't online. He just seems uninterested, to be honest. Yeah, and maybe he is. And again, I know what the dating culture is like. You're probably juggling a lot of different text chains and just trying to see which one has the best connection. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think there's things wrong with that, but given the circumstances of how dating culture is, I know that that is a air quotes normal thing that people do. So I'm not going to get super hung up about that and people behaving that way, but yeah, bro's not worth the effort or thirst. CrossFit, that's funny. Or thirst. Brett, for me personally, I feel the biggest thing I have to get over is my view of my body overweight. I do work out CrossFit and train tactical games. And as you mentioned, my mother does live with me. Your mother lives with you or you live with your mom. I think it's different if you're in a situation where you're taking care of a family member or if that dynamic is temporary or other types of circumstances. When I say, "Oh, men that live at home," I'm more saying not somebody who, you know, was living in one location, now moved back to be closer to family, is living with family for a couple of months so they can really seek out a place that they want to live, whether it's apartment, condo, buy a house, whatever, and it's a temporary thing. I'm talking about the men who are adults. We're using a lot of air quotes tonight. Adults and living home with no in their mind, no need to get out and just like, yeah, like I'll move out once I marry someone and I get like I talked to my parents about this. I don't know if my dad lived at home till he got married. My mom definitely did. I think that that was different. Um, I think since people again, broad brush strokes, people are getting married later in life now. I think having a bit of independence and living on your own, allows you to explore a lot about yourself and learn a lot about yourself, so I just think that that is important instead of, if I met somebody and they're like, "Yeah, I lived at home. I went straight to college where I lived in dorms, and then I immediately went back home and lived with my parents." To me, that's just personally, that's just somebody who I probably don't have as much in common with. Yeah, it seems like a small thing, but okay, that they don't have independence. They are reliant on their family. Maybe they pay their family rent, but I would assume probably not if their parents let them live back with them. They don't have a desire to be out on their own. They don't have a desire to learn about themselves and explore. They probably haven't traveled a lot. Like just some of those things that tell me more about the person. You can learn a lot based on, are they still living at home and do they have a desire to move out, and have they saved to move out? What's the plan here? So I think when I say it might sound very um one dimensional, but I mean it in a bigger way. He enjoys the flirt and attention, not interested in the real deal. Yeah, we don't got time for that. Craig, what's up? Good to see ya. We were talking about two peeps. Yeah, there were two people that have been texting me, and I initiated both of those conversations to try to meet both of these people in real life, and they both led to nothing. So we're done here. Brett, I take care of my mother at my house, so I believe those are two things that stop me, but mostly my own image of my own body. Okay, so yeah, that is a totally different situation. You're taking care of your mom. You're doing something that I honestly don't think a lot of people would do. And that tells me a lot about you, that you have family values and you have caretaking qualities and all of these things that actually I would say are probably green flags for you, Brett. I would say for the body image thing, um, if your weight is a huge hang up for you with dating, then work with a trainer who can maybe help with your nutrition as well, and maybe work with whether a therapist, life coach, somebody that can help you build that self-esteem to feel more confident in your own skin, whether it is actually like losing weight, aesthetics, or just gaining your own personal confidence. Vindicate, do we know this person? No, you got any of these people I'm talking about, you don't know. Do you have a lisp? I heard it when you said sure. Yeah, it's the CH and the SH words. I went to speech therapy for many, many years, and this is as good as we could clean it up in time for me to adult. So thank you. Sugar Wolf thought he was in 50 Shades of Grey. No, no. 50 Shades of Grey wouldn't talk about sugar wolves. uh First date my wife and I had was a cup of tea between training sessions. Been married 10 years in November. Yeah. It doesn't need to be this extravagant thing. It can be super low barrier to entry and chill. Like to me, a first date is, hey, I just want to know what this person is like in the world and the universe and yeah, in real life. How do they act? What is their body language and all of these things? Like to me, a first date is just, would there potentially be a second date? After 20 minutes of hanging out with this person, am I itching and scratching my eyeballs out for it to be over, or do I leave feeling like, "Oh wow, this person's really interesting. I feel like we had a connection. I would like to spend more time with them." And that's how they should feel about the other person, not just me. I had to learn a lot of new shit when I got divorced. I didn't even know the UNPW to our bank account. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. Noelle, I think just tell us where to show up doesn't apply until the relationship is established. Yeah, and I think sure, like if okay, so for example, if I was in a serious relationship with somebody and they were my boyfriend and I was their girlfriend or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, there can definitely be people joke about "Oh, I'm hungry," and, you know, the men joke that, "Yeah, she says that she's hungry, and then I give her 3 options, and she says she doesn't like any of them." Okay, yeah, then if you're gonna be that picky, just tell the person where you wanna go, and I get it, there's this debate of, we don't wanna have to tell him everything, we want him to just know us, and yeah, at the end of the day, like, men and women, we can't be mind readers. There has to be a little bit of, well, I think both parties should be better listeners, but again, that's a whole different topic. But, yeah, in the beginning stages, I just think the whole, like, just tell us where to show up, that's when you're in a committed relationship and it's established, but not this. You ever tried long distance? I would be open to long distance, but what does that mean? If we're just gonna text all the time before we meet in real life, if there's a connection there, I wanna meet this person pretty immediate. I don't wanna be waiting around like shit or get off the pot type deal. And then if there's a connection in real life, then you decide, okay, what does a schedule look like for seeing each other? Once that works out for a bit, you realize, okay, I want to date this person. Okay, well, are we going to date forever being long term, or is one person willing to move? Are both people willing to move? And conversations like that. So yeah, I'd be open to it, but again, I've made it pretty apparent that I'm not somebody that just wants to sit on my phone and text people all the time. Like, if there's an interest, let's meet in real life and let's go from there. Oh, GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64, Golden Gun. Loser has to organize date. Go. What is GoldenEye? I don't know that one. I used to play Zelda on Nintendo 64. That game was a lot of fun. If somebody had Zelda, oh man, now that would be a great first date. I don't know that I would go over to their house to play, but if there was like, I mean, I'm sure there's bars that have like video games. I don't know if that's weird, but I'd be down for that. CrossFit clinger. I had a mate who slept with a girl who had a w okay, I'm gonna stop reading there. Y'all can go back to base show and read that comment if you want to. Kenneth said Home Depot over Lowe's. Yeah, my brother-in-law, echoed that sentiment. What Home Depot are you at? I will be there. I've taken notes and will use them on you. Oh my god, you guys are funny. On your next Home Depot trip, you gonna use your Meta glasses? So New York has a one party, what is it? The verbiage. I have looked this up. A one like one person has to essentially know that you're recording. And I was on the phone with my dad, who's a lawyer, and he said that I would be the person, like, I'm considered the one party. So as long as I know that they're recording. But my dad also told me, like, that's a quick way for like word to spread and then nobody's gonna go on a date with me. So I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll use these glasses wisely. Thank you for your concern." Wonder if you're intimidating like those news viewers. What does that mean? Ah, ever seen 90 Day Fiancé? Maybe the man for you isn't in the States. Yeah, that's possible. I might have a game we can play on Sunday night. Yes, Jan Clark. I am so down for a fun game. I'm gonna be doing a live show with Jan Clark on Sunday, on Mother's Day. Mm-mm-mm. Netflix and chill, no. How do you even establish a relationship anymore? If you want long distance, find a mill guy. They'll never be around. What do you mean? I'm not saying that I want a long distance. I just said that I would be open to it. And again, to me, like, okay, if you meet somebody who lives in a different state or, we'll get wild, even a different country, the goal wouldn't be to stay long distance. Like, somebody's eventually going to need to move. If someone invited you over to play Zelda, that's a skin suit. Yeah, I kinda think that that might be true. I've got your lumbar section. Never mind. A one-party consent state. Yes, thank you. That was the verbiage that I was looking for. But anyways, because I was like, "Man, I shouldn't have unmatched with, the Sugar Wolf guy, and I should have gone on a date with him, and I should have live streamed the date." But I'd already unmatched with him, and also, like, ugh, sometimes I can be savage, but that would be mean. That would be rude. I'm not here to, like, be an asshole to people, you know? In a different life state, I'd shoot my shot low. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah. So, we got the men who won't take the bait and just go out on a date, even though I established I wanted to meet in person. We got the sugar wolf. We got the new idea to meet somebody in the wild at Home Depot at 8 a.m. on a Monday. Mm, yeah, we're doing really well. Mm, yep. Good times. Here we are. I am competing in a CrossFit competition this weekend. I'm super excited about that. That'll be fun. I would say, "Ooh, maybe I'll meet somebody there," but I know all the people at the gym, so that won't work either. But it'll be super fun. I'm excited. My friend just had a giant seagull nest removed from her chimney. Where does she live? Or he live? Yeah, her. Where does she live that there would be a seagull nest in her chimney? That's concerning. Seagull nest. World Fitness Project. No, I'm not at World Fitness Project for either tour 1 or tour 2. So like I said, this one, I'm competing in a local CrossFit competition with some of my friends this weekend. And then for the next one, I think I'm at a tactical games event, or I'm at some event for the second tour. I might go to the finale. It is the week before Christmas, but it might be fun to go out there that time of year. Oh, near the sea. That makes sense. Why are these meta glasses so close to this guy's forehead? And why does she keep howling like a wolf? Yeah. Jeremy, cheers to being single forever. Come on now. Don't gotta be bitter. Don't gotta be bitter. No, I don't think that I don't think I'll be single forever. It's just gonna take me a while, you know? Slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, here we are. But that's about it. I'm getting a I'm getting a spray tan with one of my friends who's on my team. And I don't know why this made me laugh. She just texted me. Friendly reminder to shave and exfoliate and hydrate your skin tonight. Oh, I haven't gotten a spray tan in a long time. And honestly, I normally wouldn't trust it because I've seen some bad spray tans before, but she is somebody who I would trust her recommendation. Kenneth, fun show. I'm glad you're having fun. Do you think Michael Jackson really died? Ooh, I don't know. I don't get into the conspiracy theories. We have an American Pope now. You're right. We do. I saw that people were betting on it, which I think is interesting. Uh, oh, CrossFit. What is the sister strategy? Aw, Jeremy, you've met somebody. Congrats. I'm genuinely I'm happy for you. You're a good dude. You really are. Uh, have a good evening. Yeah. Okay. It's time for me to go shave my legs and exfoliate my skin and then hydrate before my spray tan. Guys, thank you for coming and hanging out as always. Some nice chat about the love life status. Love life with Laur. We'll do this again next week. Same time, same place. appreciate you guys. I really do. These shows are fun. I love how y'all interact in the comments, the good, bad, and the ugly, but it keeps things light and always hydrate. That's the point of life, to leave laughing and smiling. Okay. Cheers, y'all. Happy Thursday. Have a great weekend, and we'll chat soon.